Hey everyone, Chris here from Realridesharestories. On this channel, we do a lot of different things within the rideshare industry, so if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. All right, so what we're going to be talking about today is just kind of a recap over the last few days worth of videos, and just kind of your thoughts and what you guys think as well too. So we're going to be covering different topics of what's up, Vu. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, what we're going to be talking about is how the rating system is with Uber and Lyft, as well as the discrepancies between passengers and drivers, and then also the issues facing the major lack of transparency between rideshare companies and its drivers and passengers, because there is quite a bit. What's up, John? What's up, Lisa? Addison, how's everybody doing? So yeah, anything you guys have in terms of rideshare ratings from a passenger standpoint or from a driver standpoint, let's talk about them now, as well as anything within lack of transparency on both Lyft and Uber's apps, because there is quite a bit. And then when you actually do a little bit more research and some news findings, you notice it's a lot more too, besides just the normal things that we see on a more daily, weekly, or just continuing basis. So there is a lot more there. What's up, Tony? Am I working tonight? Yes, I'm actually going to go out right after we're done with this live stream. So I'm going to be heading out after this. So I will be working. Let's see if we get any crazies out there, because Halloween's coming up and it's Thirsty Thursday. So the colleges are going to be going a little crazy, probably having a couple of Halloween parties tonight too. But Saturday is going to be the crazy day. So anybody who's driving, get ready. It's going to be probably pretty nuts and a lot of fun usually. Halloween is always usually fun when it comes to the parties. Both companies have ruined a good gig, absolutely have. And that's majorly because of the lack of transparency that they are doing. Hold on, I gotta plug in my phone. 1 second. All right. Drunkies, yeah, no, honestly, it's not just the drunks. Yeah, okay. Helps you out in Chicago. Good, I'm glad, Pat. I'm glad it helps you out. But yeah, it's not just the drunks. Yes, there are a lot of dumb drunks out there when people are getting rides. But you know what? Here's one thing I would rather say, or I would say, I'd rather take drunks home than them being on the road and making a problem for me or anybody else on the road. So yes, there are a lot of dumb ones out there. There are several issues, and anybody who's seen that video that I posted last week realized that, yeah, it can go from 0 to 100 like that. So you just always want to be careful out there whenever you drive later at night, especially dealing with drunk people. But remember, you are always in control in who you want to take or don't want to take. So if you don't feel comfortable taking somebody because they're plastered ass drunk, don't do it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so do I know Gio in Chicago? I know Gio's channel, and I know he's in Chicago, but I don't know him personally. Oh, sorry, you're talking to but yeah, no, I know Gio's channel, but like I said, I don't know him personally. There's a few other drivers who have channels that I do know more personally, but him not being one of them. But yeah, so like I said, what do you guys think of the rating system? Obviously, there are problems with it. It's very easy to rate low for any reason without any feedback. And that's a major problem I see, and I hear a lot of other drivers complaining about as well. Can't get any information from Lyft for being deactivated. All Lyft. Yeah, that's tough. To try to get certain things out. Unless you know somebody working at the company, you probably aren't going to. And unfortunately, it's probably a false report over anything. And that's a real problem. I mean, false reports are a major issue, and that plays into the rating system and plays into the lack of transparency from the companies. They are not transparent whatsoever when it comes to, driver complaints or, passenger complaints about drivers which cause drivers to get deactivated for even the stupidest things. So yeah, it's a real problem. Why so much complaining? If you do a good job, shouldn't have any problem. That's true, you know. You shouldn't have any problems, but unfortunately, sometimes it is where people will just rate you low for no reason. Even though you think you're doing a good job or providing the same service for everybody, you still think that, you know, all ratings should at least be average, but you could get a 1 or 2 star rating, and it's just because people rate low. And it's always just to improve the system that's already in place because there are certain problems. Now, and the same thing is, there's a lot of issues when drivers do the same thing in retaliation of passengers doing it. And it's more so on the passenger side because not so many people are driving. Or I mean, not as many people are taking as many rides as a driver is versus a passenger. So the ratings can greatly affect them much differently than a driver. And I wanted to correct myself from earlier's video talking about it. I meant to say it's the last 100 and 500 rated rides. I just said rides. I said that accidentally. So I did want to correct myself, meaning rated rides. Somebody did point it out to me, so I'm glad. Thank you very much for pointing that out. I meant to say rated rides versus just rides in general, because not all rides are rated. So I did want to make sure I did make that correction. Yeah, the current rating system is unfair. When you went to New York for your trip, your grandmother got Uber. Just happened every other time we got Uber talk to us, and then one that didn't. I mean, yeah, Addison, when you're talking about that, you know, each person's going to be different on how they handle it. Some people are going to talk, some people aren't going to talk. I mean, as a driver, you know, I kind of do that that simple, hey, how you doing? And if it seems like they want to be engaged or talk a little bit more, you can kind of tell by the response. If not, then I just be quiet and let them be quiet. And if they ended up wanting to talk, hey, that's you know, a missed opportunity, I guess, on both ends. But it's just reading what people are putting out there. And yeah, that's another thing too. People can rate poorly because you think you wanted to talk when you really didn't, or vice versa. You wanted to talk and you didn't. And it's this weird thing. Like I said earlier, you could poll 5 people and interview 5 people and ask them, hey, what do you expect out of your driver? What do you want out of it? One could say, shut the hell up. And the other could be like, well, you know, I want to talk to people. And it's so trying to, you know, be, trying to, what you call it? Sorry, my mind's having a little blink right there. When you're trying to, you know, cater to different people, just to give them a better time as well as you a better time, you know, it can be tough because some people just don't say things. And, you know, that's can come evident in the rating system. And you ever see somebody with a 0% cancellation over 1,000 rides? Yeah, I hit that actually probably just recently, and that was only because I haven't driven for like the week, and Lyft resets over a week. That's on Lyft side. No, I honestly, well, here's the thing. It depends, because you could be driving part-time, Donnie. You could be driving part-time and have 1,000 rides over, say, like 5-year period, which means you're not driving a lot. So you could have a 0 cancellation fee. But if you're driving and doing, you know, 20, 30 rides a day or more, you're probably going to hit at least 1 or 2 cancellations at that point. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's... yeah, I mean, the rating system is unfair. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but here's the question. What kinds of things do you guys see that could help the rating system get better, or, you know, make it so it's not so inaccurate when it comes to certain things? Or if you get low ratings, actually have mandatory feedback where it actually goes to both the rider or the driver. You know, something like that'll actually make it a little better. or maybe it'll make it a little less unfair, where if a low rater, and again, this could be a passenger or a driver who just rates low now, at least they can provide the right feedback. So if there is a real problem, then they can fix it. So if you're continually getting low ratings, and you're we're going to use a driver as an example. If a driver's continually getting low ratings, and I mean continually, and getting very few 5 stars or whatnot, and there's some sort of discrepancy and your rating starts going lower and lower and lower, it could be something you're doing. Maybe you're not happy doing it anymore. Maybe you need a little break, but you can still continue to do it, whatever it might be. You know, that feedback can be really beneficial to drivers if it's actual, real, true feedback. So maybe a passenger or a couple passengers can say, hey, you know, the driver just didn't seem happy doing it. Something seemed off. And maybe that call out could actually change that person's mentality towards driving. Or maybe they can just say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm not having a fun time anymore. You know, something happened at one point. Maybe I'm going to take a little break and not do this for a little while. And then you come back, you're a little more refreshed, whatever it might be, and you start seeing those 5 stars roll up. Or even maybe you drive a little aggressively, and some people don't mind that, while others do, and you just didn't realize it. It's just because of the way you drive, and maybe it helped you, you know, maybe drive a little bit better. So yeah, great feedback, or not positive feedback, but at least positive generating feedback would be much better than just getting a 1 star and not understanding why. And one of the big things too is like music, or, you know, this, that, and the other thing. Like, this driver didn't have water in his car, or mints in the car, and you give him a 1 star. Like, that just doesn't make sense whatsoever. And that's some of the problems when it comes to it. You hit a bear last month. Damn. I hope you're all right. These roads are over in 710. You don't have a cancellation button. That's pretty interesting. You just take the rides, I'm betting. You don't care what the driver is doing as long as you get to... Yeah, that's great, Patsy. Same thing. You know, most of the time when I take Uber or Lyfts when I'm out of town, it's the same thing. As long as I get there and I feel safe and I'm happy, you know, they're getting 5 stars. You know, I don't have a problem. What do you do when they cancel in the middle when they're in the car? Pull over and let them out. So if somebody's going to cancel mid-ride, when they cancel, they're not your passenger anymore. You're done. That means get out. If you're on the highway, go to the right to the next exit, but don't take them anymore. They're officially not a passenger anymore. And if they create any problems or anything where they don't get out, do not be like some drivers that you see in certain videos where they'll get out and try to remove them physically. Don't do that. Just call the cops. If they don't get out from calling the cops will come and ask them to leave nicely. If they still continue to resist, they'll forcefully do it and let them do it. That's another reason why you should have a dash cam, just so in case anything does happen. If somebody wants to put in a false report on you as a driver in this circumstance, or any circumstance, saying, oh, they touched me or did this, that, and the other thing, you have the proof right there. So if anything does happen, you know, again, you can cover your ass. But yeah, like I said, if anybody cancels mid-ride, that ride's over. Pull over, let them out. All right. Good. Enjoy, Donnie. Make it happen. What dash cam do I have? I have the Vantrue N2 Pro. I love the camera. It's always been good for me. If you ever want to see what it is, I always have the link in the description below of every video I do, so you can always click that. But yeah, I use the Vantrue N2 Pro. It's a dual dash camera, so it goes forward and in the cabin. It's got a good audio mic in it, so if you want to, or for recording that, and then it's got a micro SD card that's up to 256 gigabytes. So if you do a lot of driving in a day, it'll record all of that, both forward and rear facing, with the IR. So it's highly recommended, especially now that it's going into winter, so it's dark already. You know, in the summer, it's still light out at this time, at least where I am. So yeah, if you're going, you know, later into the day or in the night, you're getting in low light or no light conditions, and it still picks up everything within what's going on in the cabin of the car itself. So highly recommend that one. That's the one I've been using since I got one. Never had a problem with it, and it works fantastically. So yeah, that's the camera I use. So Tony and Addison both asked that question at the same time. So yeah, hopefully that answers it. Common sense works normally. Sometimes. There's not a lot of common sense sometimes. All right, yeah, but what do you guys think when it comes to take every ride, never cancel any rides, all rides turn into stories? That's true, yeah. Some rides do turn into stories. But just be careful out there if there are rides that are, you know, underage. You don't want to take the minors. You don't want to take more passengers than what's allowed in the car. So you just don't want to do that. So watch out when you're doing that, Donnie. If you're saying you're into an area that's a long ways away, that means there's no cars in that area. Short ride, drop them. Have patience, turn in money. Yeah. All right, man. Good luck with everything, Donnie. Enjoy the rest of your night. Maybe if we're still on for a little longer, we'll see you. But enjoy. Be safe out there when you're driving. Yeah, I'm gonna be driving out in a little bit. It's almost 9 o'clock, so I gotta get going. But yeah, anything else if you guys wanna add, especially to have I had somebody try to rob me? No, I haven't. That you gotta always kind of be aware of your surroundings. Plus, I don't carry cash on me or anything. Most people don't carry cash on you or on them. Maybe a few bucks here or there, or if there's cash tips or something that you get on the occasion. That's pretty much the only cash, so you're really not going to get it. Phone, yeah, that could be something. So you kind of want to be careful. I've been debating. I have the iPhone X or 10 or whatever the hell you want to call it. So it could be something people might try to look at. But, you know, and I've been contemplating getting like just a junk crap phone and tying it on my plan just for using for Uber and Lyft instead of using my iPhone. I've been toying with that idea, but I've been driving for 4 years now, for the most part on and off, but for the most part, except for a little bit when I was in New York City. But yeah, I wouldn't, I've never had that problem. But again, you never know what could happen. You know, it's just go into areas you feel safe with. If you go into an area dropping somebody off, you know, you can always turn on the little function thing that says turn on last ride. And then at that point, it won't take any new rides. So if you don't want to be in a specific area due to high crime or violence or anything like that, you can skedaddle out of there into an area that you want to be or that you're more familiar with. So yeah, those things are definitely something you want to keep in mind if you feel unsafe or anything. And then, you know, being able to carry like something like pepper spray or mace, you can do that. Firearms, again, TOS states that you can't have it. It's prohibited via Uber or Lyft. But hey, you're the driver. It's kind of your car. It's your rules. So I'm going to give you what they say, and then whatever you want to do is your choice. But just be careful. So hand a bill full with fake cards and a couple of bucks in it. Yeah, you could do that. I don't even carry my wallet with me. The only thing I have is my license. And then I have, that's really about it, because I always get gas beforehand. Sometimes I do have my card on me, but very rarely, which I probably should have, just in case something does happen. But that's the other thing too. If you call right away to your bank and turn off your card, hey, guess what? It doesn't do anything at that point. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Your dad is so like him. He's always aware. Yeah, just be aware. Just always pay attention. I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of dumb people who try to pull dumb things that who knows if they're paying attention to reality or not, or even in reality when they're trying to do some of the stuff they do. Because drugs can play a major part in the function of the brain. So sometimes people do stupid things for stupid reasons, maybe try to get their next fix, whatever it might be. And so they think robbing their Uber or Lyft driver is going to be the right thing, when in fact, hey, guess what? It's a cashless system. Most drivers don't carry cash on them for that particular reason. And if they do, it's usually only a few bucks at most. So yeah, it's this weird little thing there. But yeah, pay attention out there when you're doing that anytime. Always be aware of your surroundings. Always keep your doors locked. Hold on. Always keep your doors locked. And then, if your car doesn't have the ability to self-lock when you start driving, most new cars do, but if it doesn't, just make sure that you lock the good doors when you start the ride or right after you drop off a passenger. Lock your doors so when you come to a stop, when you come to a light, whatever it might be, your doors are locked. Nobody's going to get in, especially if they're coming out. Again, like I said, if they're in the car already as a passenger, you kind of got to pay attention and watch out. One of the easiest things you could do is if you're very quick, you could grab your phone and you can grab your stuff and get out of the car. If you're in a more well-lit area that has more people, so at least in that case you can get out of the vehicle and have everything on you, and then call the cops right away. If not, if for some reason, if you have the ability to put like mace or something in the side of your car right near where maybe your wallet might be, or something, you can grab that and then spray. Just saying. But pay attention, be careful. Truck drivers are worse than Uber. What do you mean, Lisa? Do you mean truck drivers as passengers, or truck driver getting robbed, or what? I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but yeah, let me know what you mean. You're at work. All right. Well, if you can comment what you meant there, because I'm not sure. Do you have a disclaimer notice? Yes, I do. I bought stickers. I'm in a one-party consent state for audio and video, so I don't need to put that sticker on, but I do have them just because it helps I think it helps as a deterrent because it's staring them in their face. I have one back seat right here where people are, so... and then I also have one right in front, and it says, for security, this vehicle is equipped with audio and video recording devices. Consent given by entering vehicle. So I do have those. Like I said, I think they're a deterrent. I don't have to have them, but I like to have them because, if it's a deterrent in any way, shape, or form from somebody trying to act stupid or doing something stupid, they're going to think twice about it. Same thing with trying to claim a false report. They're going to think twice about it because I have the dash cam proof, the footage right there. So if I do need it for any particular reason, guess what? I got it. And then, having a YouTube channel, I can put you on blast if you do something stupid, like those guys that tried something stupid last week. Just saying. Oh, you work at Pilot? Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, if you do, I don't know exactly what you mean when you say that. Truck drivers probably are just tired from their hauls and all that stuff, but, maybe even a little catcalling type thing. Hey, that's I don't know. But I mean, yeah, obviously everybody's going to be a little bit different depending on what's going on. Pilot... They're driving. No, I get it. People can cause certain problems. Being a driver, you see a lot of different people, even anybody who works in retail and call centers. I love taking call center workers because I love hearing their crazy stories of what goes on. Whether they work at, the cable company or wireless or for the internet, cable and internet, whether it's, insurance. I love picking up people like that work at call centers, because some of their stories are pretty wild too whenever they have to deal with people. Even some in retail, like cashiers and that, hearing some of the crazy stories that they have to deal with. So it's not just rideshare drivers. The only difference is with rideshare, it's crazy for the fact that people are driving and like, I don't know any of the passengers don't know me, but yet because it's this close confined quarters, everybody's really personal and there's no like filter or anything. So some of the stuff that you hear is pretty crazy. And you always want to say, hey, I wish I was a fly on the wall for this. Well, guess what? A rideshare driver is the fly on the wall every time. And not many people censor themselves out, which is pretty crazy. And then just some of the things that happen in general. So it is pretty funny that way. What are your thoughts on the passenger rating drivers? Yeah, I think for the most part, most people are pretty honest, or they'll just give 5 stars to give 5 stars. And but the ones that rate low, and this is both passengers rating drivers and drivers rating passengers, this can be said for both. I think that the people who just rate low just because and aren't honest with the answer, or at least providing real, true feedback, like, oh, it was a little too cold for me, or oh, it was a little too warm, or oh, the music wasn't great. Stupid stuff like that does not warrant low ratings. That's not what rideshare is. Rideshare is picking you up, dropping you off, and making sure you get there in a safe, timely manner. Other than that, you're not paying for anything else. You're not paying for snacks. You're not paying for, convenience. You're not paying for this, that, and the other thing. Sure, Uber might have quiet mode, and Uber might have temperature preferredness modes, but it's up to the driver if they want to do it. So, yeah, it's not really something that I think is necessarily the right thing. If you're getting to and from your location safely and in a timely fashion, you shouldn't be rating low. Unfortunately, sometimes ratings can be based upon, race and ethnicity, which is an unfortunate thing. I mean, we should all be getting past this at this point already. I've read many articles where drivers who are different ethnicities than passengers, they might get low ratings because of that. Or maybe a certain area from where they are from, they'll get low ratings from it. And again, that's an unfortunate thing and should not be allowed in any way, shape, or form. But again, it's all opinion based, so nobody can really prove that it is that. But you can have your opinions and your thoughts. But yeah, it's based on opinions, and it's not based on the realness of certain situations. Whenever I have any type of ethnicity in my car, I don't discriminate in any way, shape, or form. Or same thing when I'm a passenger going into another ethnicity driver. Hey, we're all drivers, so that's cool. We're all riders, whatever it might be. Let's all just be people. That's the big thing. We are all people. We're all trying to get through this world together, and we all want better lives and all this. So putting up barriers and things like that just doesn't make any sense. So that is an unfortunate thing that happens also within the rating system. But yeah, I mean, just having these poor ratings overall and not having any clarity as to why. I know a lot of people who try to bend over backwards as drivers or really worry about having a 5-star rating. But you know what? Here's the real thing. 5 stars does not matter. It doesn't. Because here's the thing. You could be a perfect 5-star rated driver with 5,000 or 6,000 rides. And guess what? You get one bullshit report and you could be deactivated permanently without any knowledge on why. And that's another problem that going from the rating system into the lack of transparency is that whole deactivation thing where, yeah, you could be deactivated and not really know the reason why, or the ability to fight it, or the ability to, get reactivated, unless maybe you know somebody in that company that works there that you could call them up and say, hey, look, I need to know what's going on. How can I fight it? This, that, or the other thing. So it's a major lack of transparency there, in all aspects. So yeah, hold on, just going back up to some of the, what do you do if you pick up the wrong person? Like, the people want to get in your car and say it's that person. You're supposed to not pick up there. Okay, if I'm reading that right, Addison, are you asking more like if you just pick up the wrong person, or if it's at the wrong pickup location, they put it up wrong? If it's wrong, first off, keep your doors locked until you verify the person. You verify the passenger. You can be like, hey, what's your driver's name? Hey, what's your name? As long as it matches, I feel pretty good letting them in. And then when they get in, just verify the location with them, because, yeah, there could be a lot of different Matts out there, especially in a busy bar district, or a lot of different Jens, or a lot of different Sallys, or whatever it might be. So, yeah, there could be sometimes overlapping where it's the wrong way that way. But if you're asking about the wrong person, hey, from Brazil, what's going on? How you doing? It's awesome. Thank you for joining us. Brazil, that's awesome. Yeah, I want to make it to Brazil. I haven't yet. Just saying, I will be down in Brazil, I think next year or the year after that. I'm planning a trip to go there, to a few of the different cities. So, hey, who knows? Maybe you'll be my driver if you're still driving. Yeah, so that's for the wrong person. And then I'll just answer if they call up and you're in the wrong location. If it's if it's right around the corner and they actually made a mistake and, swiped when they were trying to move the pin and accidentally swiped to a different location, if it's not that far, a couple blocks away, I'll go pick them up. But if you start getting a few minutes and a good distance away, I'm going to be like, hey, guess what? You got to cancel. You're probably going to get somebody quicker if you reorder. And that's a big scam, a possible scam too, if it's surging or that in your area, and then they're just out of the area, but they call you and say, hey, I meant to put it right here, but for some reason the app messed up, and take you away from where that surge zone actually is. That's a scam. Have them cancel, or wait the 5 minutes and cancel, because, yeah, that's not your fault in any way, shape, or form. Keep your doors locked. Yeah, absolutely. Always ask for the ride. Damn straight. Got to do that. You got to verify. Once you verify who it is, like I say, then just re-verify where they're going to make sure that is the right passenger. And if not, then, you tell them, hey, sorry that you got the wrong ride. You're the same passenger, what I'm looking for, but unfortunately, your driver's probably somewhere right around here too. So let them out and, try to call that person. Actually, I've never done this, so I don't know. Have anybody been able to, can you call your passenger if you've already started the ride? I know they can call you, but I've never actually tried calling the passenger. But that's another thing you can do. You can actually call the passenger and verify them, especially if it's in a busy spot. Busy bar district, like what's probably going to happen later tonight. Usually when I get there, I'll call them and tell them exactly where I am, because I'm usually never at the actual pickup pin location, because I can't pull over there for whatever reason. So I'll pull over to like the closest spot that I can, give them a call, and usually stay on the phone with them until they come to my car. So at least at that point, I know exactly who they are and if they're my ride or not. And several times I've had people come up to the car thinking that they're that I'm their ride. when I'm actually on the phone with the passenger right there. So it's actually kind of funny at that point too. So Uber or Lyft, which one do you prefer? I do both. So I'll answer that. But yeah, everybody else in Uber and Lyft, what do you guys prefer, or what do you do? I do both. Uber, I probably have 2 or 3 times the amount of rides, just because it's busier on Uber's platform, at least in my area. Lyft kind of fills in those gaps when it's slower. So yeah, it's kind of this little game that can be played. But sometimes Lyft can be busier if they're running certain promotions. But hey, I get paid either way, so Lyft's pay is a little bit better than Uber, but I get a lot more rides and I'm a lot busier on Uber. So yeah, that's one thing. Prefer Uber as a passenger. Okay, Addison, why do you do that? Just out of curiosity, because I've asked quite a few different people and they'll say either or, and I like to know why. So yeah, as a passenger, why do you like Uber better? You just do. Okay. Fair enough. Good point. Fair enough. Someone irked enough to rate 3 stars or less should have to write about what happened. Yeah, Kristen, if you're still here, absolutely. Be more evolved as humans in these days. 100% agreed, but I don't know what's going on. Where the fact that they do that at all, like that, talk more. I feel okay. Yeah, I mean, if people talk more, that's cool. Yeah. Sorry, just going through some of the. We all pee the same color. Sometimes, if you don't drink your water, it might not be the same color. Addison, going back to your further comment. Yeah, sometimes it might not be, but yeah, drink your water and it's going to be clear. That's another thing. Carry water with you all the time, especially when you're driving. If you're going to be driving longer shifts, always carry water for you. You don't have to give them to your passengers, but have water for you. I always carry a couple of bottles of water for me throughout the day, or mostly night, because I always drive at night. Sometimes I drive during the day, very, very rare. But whenever I'm driving on a shift, I always have some water with me. Yeah, sometimes it sucks trying to find a bathroom, especially at night. But that's the good thing about being a guy. You find a dark little spot, go behind the car, nobody knows anything. Shh. But yeah, that is one thing. You're Hispanic and people like to talk down to you because you don't know what. Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry that happens to you. I think it's bullshit. I think it's really bullshit how people just treat other people based on superficial shit like skin color, accents, whatever it is. It's stupid. You know, I can understand if you look at the evolution of people where, you know, you had tribal mentality in the tribes way back when civilizations first started, because you had, hey, my tribe needs to protect me from that tribe over there. But unfortunately, our evolution hasn't caught up with that. And that's not an excuse. That's just, you know, sometimes people subconsciously do it. I don't know if they do it on purpose or in a tone that should be, or I mean, in a tone that is like consciously doing it. And again, I'm not making it an excuse in any way, because yeah, right, we can look past that now. And most people, I really do think, are that way. Unfortunately, it does happen. And I think very soon it's going to stop. You work up to 16 hours a day. Wow. That's awesome. Good for you. I work, you know, I usually go out between 7 and 9 at night. And then I usually go till when it starts slowing down. So depending on the day, it could be like 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, sometimes a little bit later. You know, I've gone from like 7 to like 6 a.m. before, 7 at night to 6 a.m. So it really just depends. Here in the States, they do limit you also in time frames. So I think it's 14-hour time limit on Lyft, 12-hour time limit on Uber. But you know, there's discrepancies between that where if you turn it off, you can start saving up that time. You know, if you stop working for a little bit and say go get lunch, you know, that time will be not brought against you. So yeah, you could work 16 hours a day here too. I don't do that. I work part-time. I've got a few other things that I do throughout the day. You know, editing videos does take quite a bit of time. I own other businesses as well too. So yeah, you know, it all depends what's going on. But do you, Perlaz? I'm not sure how you say it. I probably butchered that. I'm very sorry. I know Espanol, but not very much Portuguese. So it's sometimes trying to pronounce things I'm not very good at. So I do apologize. Do you work full time, I take it? And then how many total hours do you do usually per week? You think you can call them when you get hold of the passenger, usually text them. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good to know. Like I said, I don't know everything. I drive part-time too. But yeah, I mean, sometimes there's certain things that I just don't do because I don't know. It's never happened. But it's always good to know beforehand. What's the craziest thing that happened on Uber or Lyft? Go back in my channel and watch some of the crazy stories. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot. I mean, but anybody else out there who wants to put their crazy stories, type it in the comments or in the live feed right now. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy things that can happen. And anybody who wants to know, check out my videos. Because there's a lot of crazy things that happen. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of crazy stories that happened before I got my dash cam, and they're the reasons why I did get my dash cam to begin with. Maybe one day I'll maybe do like a reenactment video of it with a couple of friends, because yeah, some of those videos I do know quite well. They might not be verbatim, but just exactly what happened was pretty crazy. So yeah, maybe I'll end up doing that, getting a few friends and kind of just tell them exactly kind of what happened, and kind of show you guys what happened, because yeah, some of the things were crazy, like people yelling in the car because they're drunk and saying, oh, this is going to get physical fast, pulling up to the driveway. They get out and start smacking the other person around while they're walking up the driveway. You know, girls talking about trying to rob a guy because he's got cash on him because of whatever reason. And then the girl's hitting on me and rubbing my arm. And it's like, whoa, calm the frick down. Yeah, there's some wild ass stuff that happens. And those are a couple of the reasons why I got the dash cam, especially that last one that I just told you about. Fortunately, I didn't have the camera for that. That would have been a hell of a story to have. To show. But yeah, I mean, there's always some wild stuff that happens. Maybe you drive 8 to 10 hours a day, weekdays. Nice. What actually, besides Brazil, and Rideshare Lisa, who's in my market as well, just a couple of hours away, down the, or in central part of New York State, what other markets are people driving in, as well? So, now I prefer night. I pretty much am exclusively at night, as I just alluded to a little bit ago. Primarily at night for the reasons that I hate traffic. So when I go out right now, there's no traffic and it's fantastic. Mostly it's also my free time when I'm able to do it. But yeah, that's what I enjoy doing. I like the nighttime. You get a lot of crazy people, yeah, but it seems like it's a lot more fun. There could be people who like doing just airport rides, or just, you know, business rides, or to and from work, things like that during the day, or to and from appointments and different stores and things like that. Yeah, sure, you could enjoy that. There's a lot less risk, I guess you could say, involved, although anything could happen at any time. But, you know, night, I enjoy the funness, more people are a lot more fun because they're a lot more laid back. They're usually going out to and from places, having more fun. So yeah, you're usually getting some crazy things, but it's a lot of fun. Can I do what Gio does, live stream while working? He does ask for permission from his riders, but they live streaming, you gotta kind of watch out for, only because it it's a very gray area. Live streaming, there's a difference between posting the videos I post and live streaming them. So I'm a little apprehensive on live streaming things, but if I maybe if anybody doesn't know the channel Misson Uber yet, it's a great channel. Steve does like all different trivia questions and stuff. It's a trivia channel. In Uber rides is really fun. Maybe I'll have him in the car and we'll collab because he's also in Buffalo. So I can do live streams like that while we're in the middle of a shift. We've been talking about doing that. Our schedules just haven't lined up, or our rides haven't lined us up in the same area. We've been talking about doing that, but live streaming actual rides, I'm a little apprehensive of, because one of the things that I do too is I make sure I don't share personal information of people in any way, shape, or form. But I can live stream while I'm in the middle of a shift, waiting for a ride. I can do that. I don't have a problem doing that when a ping might come in. Seattle here, you don't drive during rush hour. Yeah, I don't either. I hate driving. Morning isn't too bad, actually. I've done a morning a couple of times if I've had to do something early. Morning's actually not too bad at all. Even though I like driving at night, morning isn't bad. It's fun. All right, man. Hey, Brazil, awesome to have you. You have a good rest of your night. You are in Houston, Texas. Houston's horrible for traffic. Oh my God. When I was there, it was horrendous. We don't see anything. He has the camera facing. Oh, okay. Maybe at that point, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep that in mind. It's kind of hard though, only because I only have one phone. I don't know if he's using his phone, because I know he uses his tablet for the app itself. I only have my phone. So if I, change that into getting a second phone, like a crappy phone for just doing Uber and Lyft, maybe I'll do that. Or if some way I can find a way to recode the dash cam where I can just take the live footage right off of the camera some way, somehow. I don't know if that's possible. I haven't even looked into it, because sometimes you could do that. Maybe I could try doing something where it's just the front facing and do something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I'll keep it in mind. I'm always looking for different ideas too. So if anybody wants to, oh, Sabres are losing. Damn it. Come on, Sabres, step it up. Sorry, I get the alerts going on my phone right now too. They're losing 5-2. I'm not happy. But yeah, no. Anybody who has anything that they want to know when it comes to just in general, or certain things to add to the channel, if you want a cheaper phone, always email. Okay, if it's AT&T, I'll take it. Maybe. Because I have AT&T, so I also am grandfathered into like the really, really old unlimited data plan, so I like keeping that. Go Nats. No, go Sabres. Yeah, go Sabres. I gotta say, they're doing really well this season. They sucked the last few years. It was not fun to watch them. Now it's pretty fun. I'll actually watch them and sit through the game and enjoy it. So yeah, Sabres are doing a good thing. So are the Bills. And guess what? Dustin, if you're watching this, calling you out, because this weekend it's Philly versus the Bills. So yeah, it's gonna be fun for that game. for sure, because I'm gonna have to lay into him a little bit if Philly loses, because it's a Bills game, home game. So we'll see what happens. Go Bears, the Bears. Oh yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. Chicago, come on. No, the Bears all right. I like the Bears. They provide me with some good entertainment every once in a while. Go Astros. Yeah, there you go. World Series, baby. World Series. I'm sorry for anybody who likes baseball. I can't watch it. I don't know. I can't watch it. I don't know why. I can't. I'll watch the highlights. I'll watch all that stuff. But yeah, I can't really, I don't know. I just can't get into it for some reason. I like hockey. It's real fast paced. It just keeps going and going and going. You know, they only have a few commercial breaks per period, so that's really great. But yeah, I mean, I just can't get into it. Even when I go to a Bison's game, which is, you know, they're minor leagues, but when I go to a game, you know, I can sit there for about 3 innings and then I'm like, all right, I got to go walk to the bar. Or something, because yeah, I don't know, I just can't get into baseball for some reason. I live in DC, love the Nats and Caps. There you go. Caps, hey, I'll go for Caps when they're not playing the Sabres, or if they're not doing great compared to the Sabres. I'll cheer for them all the time. But when it comes to Caps Sabres, sorry, it's gonna be the Sabres every time. Yeah, but you know, born in Buffalo, so gotta root for the home teams. Although I do like the Packers. Packers are cool. You know, Aaron Rodgers is a real stand-up guy for the most part, so I like that. It's cool. Fair enough. Yeah. I'm sure you're probably the same way. You know, you'll root for other teams. Like, I'll root for everybody against the Patriots just because I think everybody does that. Ah, damn. 6-2. Come on, Sabres. You know, hey, I'll let them lose one. It's okay. You know, they're I think 8-1-1 right now. So, you know, if they go 8-2-1, I'm still okay with it. They're still number 1 in the league. It's okay. Seahawks, yeah. Hey, you're from Seattle, so Seahawks are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. There are definitely some good teams, and then there are some bad teams. Really off topic, I know. My favorite Super Bowl, Pittsburgh and Arizona Cardinals. Few years ago, when it just kept going back and forth between who was winning and who was losing. Oh my God, that was a phenomenal game. Oh, New England. Blech. Exactly. Yeah, you know, the Patriots can let their title go. And I'm sure the entire country, besides New England, can also probably agree with that, because they just are probably tired of the Patriots. But yeah, anybody who's in the AFC East with the Patriots, you know, it's even more so. Like Miami, New York, and Buffalo, all sick of them probably just a little bit more than the rest of the country. But yeah, no, that's way off topic, I know, guys. But yeah, anything else with rideshare? Hey, Elise, what's going on? But yeah, anything going on with rideshare? Hey, that actually could be a good question. Do you guys like driving for big games? You know, if you have a college in your area that's real big in certain games, or professional in your area, do you enjoy driving them? Football, you know, having the Bills Stadium, which is a 73,000 seat stadium, I will not drive for the Bills. I don't like it. Like I said, I hate traffic. And when you're sitting in traffic, I've done it a couple of times. It's all right. I could probably make the same amount of money driving around elsewhere during that same time that I'm driving from, you know, picking up a passenger and taking the location, just because of the amount of traffic that's going and that you're waiting. And plus, there's a lot of other rides that are happening throughout the rest of the area that most people aren't picking up. So yeah, it's fun to do it that way. I love driving for the Sabres games, even though trying to get to them, to the pickup location can be a little bit of a hassle. But I don't mind it. It's fun. Because again, especially if they're winning and doing well, all the fans are really happy. But yeah, like I said, football is a different beast. And for me, when I don't like traffic that much, I try to limit what it is. But what do you guys think? What do you guys enjoy? Do you enjoy driving games for that? I didn't make my name correct. Your name correct. I'm very sorry. If you want, Elise, I'm sorry. I'm bad pronouncing names sometimes. Sometimes I do get it spot on, but I'm sorry for saying your name wrong. As soon as Tom Brady retires, it'll be time to party. A lot of reports are saying this is his last year, or at least it's his last year in New England. But you know what? Here's the thing. He's carried that team for quite a few years, had a few good players on it that really shaped that team. The team overall looks really good for the most part, but they've also played really really bad teams. They did play the Bills and they did beat the Bills, but the Bills made them look like crap. They were struggling for a lot of the game. It was Tom Brady's worst game in several years. That defense came to play when they were playing. So yeah, they squeaked by and got lucky for that game. So, the team itself, if they start playing real good teams, that's going to be the real thing on what it's going to look like if they are actually really as good as they look, as the record looks, or not. Time will tell, for sure. Damn, Sabres lost. Outdoor concert venues are great in DCVA. Passengers are, concerts are great too. Yeah, anytime people are in good moods, it's really good. But like I said, when you're taking that 40, 50, 60, 70,000 or more, and they have just poor, traffic patterns afterwards, or even trying to get there, it can be a real pain for sure. You don't mind doing drop-offs, but pickups are bad. Yeah. No good place to pick up, and sometimes they have to walk. Sometimes they just cancel. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. Sometimes if the app pings you and you're not in the right location, and you have to go to the stadium or arena, and they have streets blocked off and this, that, and the other thing, and you can't get there, and you got to start going around, and then you get stuck in traffic, and then you got to go to the pickup location, and you're stuck in traffic even more. It can be a real hassle. So when you get into those large venues, it's a pain. But here's a little tip. If you do want to do rides, know where the pickup zone is, and then hang out near that pickup zone, maybe in a close parking lot, or if there is actually a waiting lot that you can sit in, go there. And then when the ride comes in for the pickup spot and the pickup zone, just go right there or move right there, and you're good to go. And usually if you're sitting there waiting, you're probably one of the first few people to get rides, as I'm sure the event's either just ending or people are leaving because the team is sucking and they don't want to stay, or bad weather, or whatever it might be. But those are a few tips. And then usually when that happens, when you're doing that, you're not going to hit so much traffic, and you could probably be at the forefront of any traffic. So that is one thing you can do if you want to kind of avoid that traffic or not be out of the area when a ping comes in for the ride. Then if you continue driving, because usually you're going to take a ride that's a little bit further from the stadium or the arena, and then when you end that ride, just continue to the next. I wouldn't even risk going back to that stadium, at least for a little while, depending on the time of the traffic and all that stuff. $17 for 20 rides. That is crazy. You going over to SU. Lisa, you got to come to Buffalo. Whenever you come to Buffalo, let me know. We'll have to get together or something, hang out for a little bit, grab a drink. But yeah, you come to Buffalo for a little bit. $17 for 12 rides. That's how is that possible? The ride share or the minimum wouldn't even allow that. It's the minimum in our market's $390 for Uber and $366 for Uber and $390 for Lyft. So how are you getting $12 or $17 for 12 rides? Damn. What's my take on Uber Pro? You just hit diamond. Well, congratulations. Honestly, I don't see the benefit either. So Uber Pro is just a way to control drivers into accepting more rides because they think they're going to get good benefits when in fact, honestly, it's not really good benefits. If you want to say, hey, I'll pay you a little bit more, that might be a little benefit. Like Lyft Pro, or Lyft's program, or whatever they're going to call that. If they do call it Lyft Pro, that's going to be weird. But if they call it whatever they do, their thing, they're apparently going to give you money for trading in so many points. So, that is actually kind of cool, where you can do that. So that's a cool little benefit. But Uber Pro itself, I don't see the benefit. Also, keeping a 90% acceptance rate can be pretty tough for a lot of people, and a lot of people usually don't have that 85%. An 85% acceptance rate can be tough for some people to keep. So if you drop below it, or that's another thing, cancellation rate. There's a lot of different things there. But no, I mean, honestly, there really isn't that much. I don't care if I hit any number on it or any tier on it. It really, to me, I don't see a great benefit. The one thing that is pretty cool is if you can take classes online through ASU, but you have to have 3,000 rides. So people who don't do that, don't have that ride count, can't take that. But I mean, there can be certain classes that if you want to take. So like I'm doing YouTube videos. I have a podcast that we also record and video record. So doing certain things like filmography and audio engineering, things like that, would be pretty cool to kind of take a couple of classes to learn the ins and outs of the equipment to make better production for anybody who's watching or listening. Things like that would be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I went to school already. I don't want to go back. There's no reason for me. I graduated. I paid off my student loans a long time ago. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, I mean, unless they make some real changes to Uber Pro where it's going to actually be good benefits, I don't care. But that's my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of different people out there. Oh, yeah, the promotion. I'm sorry, this weekend. Yeah. Just to let you know, Lisa, there's other people out there who are getting mine is 12 rides for $17, but there's some people who are getting higher rides. I think it's like, I forget what it is. I think it's like 42 or 34 rides and they get like $60 or something. I saw somebody screenshot that in a Facebook thing for Buffalo earlier. Yeah, that promo will be really easy to get. 12 rides will probably be done on Saturday night easily. It's going to be crazy out there. I love it. If you have Uber credit card, you can get cash back on gas. Yeah, you can. I don't have the Uber card. I don't plan on getting the Uber card. But again, that's just me. So if you guys have it, if you're using it, that's you, and the benefit can be much better for you. I have speedways in my area, which are pretty damn cheap. And then I'm a Speedway reward member, so I get 5 cents off on top of that. And then if I want to get gas even cheaper, the reservation isn't too far from me either. And I can go down and get some gas for a pretty cheap price as well. So even cheaper. So, and I mean, that can save me 50, 60 cents right there. So yeah, it just depends. The only good thing about seeing is trip duration. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good little feature. I'm not gonna lie, that's great. But you know, that should be something that's already in it, just to make the best decision. You know, again, it's one last thing about Uber Pro and even Lyft's program that is going to come out when it does come out fully, to all markets. It's, you know, it's again a way to control drivers to continue driving, or to search, or to try to fulfill these requirements, and keeping these certain acceptance ratings, or these cancellation ratings above or below what it might be. And it blurs that line between employee and an independent contractor, because it's a lot of people will feel compelled to do it, and it's just that control aspect behind it, at least a little bit. So yeah, there's some issues. And what did I graduate in? Business administration. I started in computer science, didn't like it, just didn't want to do it. So I switched majors, and then went to business administration. One is for Friday and one is for Saturday. Oh, no shit. I didn't even look to see fully. All I did was just, I got the email and said, okay, well, I'll do that this weekend and make that no problem. So, hey, that's cool. That's even better, if they're doing it 2 different nights for the same thing. You're getting super, young professionals getting no tips. 100%, yeah. Don't you stop. I agree with you right there. Yeah, unfortunately, that was the way Uber started its business, by saying, oh, no, you don't have to tip, because they were actually paying pretty decent. So tipping really didn't matter at that point. You know, you were probably making $2.15, $2.50 a mile, whatever it might have been, at that point. You know, driving was pretty good. You were making some pretty decent money at that point. And then when they started doing the upfront pricing, and the pay structure changed to mileage and time, you know, it changed. And then when they pay cut that mileage rate, or that time rate, and they change it, you know, that causes problems. And so, yeah, creates an issue. But yeah, that's how they set it up. Here in the UK, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. What time is it there? Geez, 9:40 here. It's got to be, what, 6 hours or something ahead. So it's like, what, 4 in the morning there or something? No, maybe not that far ahead. 2. Damn. Well, welcome. Late night guy or girl. Yeah, I mean, the tipping is a big issue. And unfortunately, the thing that happened was the pay that the riders pay, so what every passenger pays, you know, stays relatively the same, but the pay that the driver gets keeps getting cut lower and lower, so Uber and Lyft's take gets greater and greater. Partially one of the reasons why Lyft has decided, oh, we're not going to show you what the rider pays anymore, so you don't actually see that information. So they put this into an aggregate right now. So yeah, you'll get, you know, your past month or whatever it is, all rolled into one to say, oh yeah, we're really only taking 20%, but that's the whole thing. They can adjust accordingly, and there's no real way to back it up, or to show that proof. So if that's really true or not, who knows? They could always fudge a number. They fudge their numbers on GPS expected time when you're accepting and denying during the ping screen. How many times have you accepted a ride that said 7 minutes away, and then all of a sudden it's magically 12 minutes away, because the GPS tells you the reality versus what Lyft's GPS is? So yeah, they might be cooking a few different things. But yeah, who knows? All right, guys. Yeah, it's been a lot longer than I anticipated. I was actually going to try to end it around a little earlier than that. But hey, I don't mind hanging out. I enjoy it. It's fun. Definitely got off topic near the at the end of that, but that's cool. Hey, I like the conversation, and again, we're all drivers or passengers and trying to just make it better. And you know, experiencing or sharing different experiences, frustrations, venting, you know, making things better. And like I said, if anybody has any thing that they want me to add to the channel or kind of like bring up, I'm all ears, because I like to hear what people like to see or want to see as well too. All right, guys, I'm going to end this now. So everybody else have a great night or morning, depending on where you are in the world or when you're watching this. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, so you'll be notified for every video that's upcoming and that when we post. Also, love venting. Yeah, hey, I'm gonna add it in there, Lisa. But yeah, you guys have a great rest of the night. I'm heading out right now. Black cabs are piling. Oh, great. Yep, have a good night, everybody. As always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time.